New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Hello again, dear ones. Rev Brz with you over here.
Rev Z right here.
Emma Moreno right here.
And this is New Thought Today for today, June 25th, 2024. We want to thank you for being a part of what we're doing here on the New Thought Media Network, helping to take this mighty message out into the world. And yes, we have a special guest here today, and you're going to hear all kinds of wonderful, amazing things that this person's up to. So we'll say hello in a second. But before then, I want to say hello.
Hello.
Hello. All right.
Hola.
We did that. So, folks, let me briefly introduce Emma Moreno. She's a host here. She has her own program here on New Thought Media Network. He is a professional practitioner of religious science, hangs out with the Center for Spiritual Living, Seattle, and does all kinds of things all over the world. I play my own favorite game of where in the world is Emma Moreno some days. Because if you follow her on social, you're gonna see her traveling the globe and being all over the world. I love watching that. So, Emma, welcome to New Thoughts Today. How are you doing, dear one?
Hola, hola, hola. So nice to be here with you guys. Just feeling the energy, getting the energy of being here in the program. Thank you so much for the invitation. And happy to be here and happy to tell you that this time I'm in Seattle. Seattle, Washington.
Now you're at home. Okay. That is perfect. Well, tell us, let everybody in the audience, we're not big on formal introductions around here. So help everybody out in the audience understand who are you, where are you, what are you doing, what's going on. Give us the lowdown of what we need to know about you in order to jump into the conversations we have planned today.
Awesome. Well, I live in Seattle, Washington. I have my license as a practitioner in the Center for Spiritual Living here in Seattle. But as you mentioned, I'm all over the place. I often broadcast my show from different places. And I just came back from a long 2 months in Europe. I was in 8 different countries. And I was doing my show from there. So I broadcast a show that starts at 8 in the morning, Pacific time, and it's called Spirituality, the Daily Practice. And so while I was traveling, I was doing my show and I was talking about the different aspects, a little bit of a tour, showing different places where I was traveling to and doing my practice. Because as you know, when you're traveling, there's so many things that happen to you that if you don't have a spiritual practice, sometimes it's difficult to manage. And so it was really good to have this practice of every day starting my show and talking about the many different things that were going on. Like, for example, like making decisions. Like, do I use my credit card? Do I use cash? Do I take the bus or do I take a taxi? I mean, all those things can bring a lot of anxiety for
Mm.
a person who's traveling. And having a spiritual practice always helps you to get centered, to help you to move through the day. So I was very happy to be able to do that, and still be part of a New Thought Media Network every morning with my show. And so I started this show. It's going to be 2 years now. 2 years that I've been
Wow.
Yep.
on the show, spirituality, the daily practice. And it's been a fantastic, fantastic experience. So thank you so much for the invitation to come on board of New Thought Media Network and offering this platform, because it's been fantastic, a wonderful experience.
Oh, I love hearing that you've had a good time.
Yes.
And your program has something unique in it to it, because you're speaking English here today with us, because this is an English speaking program. However, yours is not.
Yes, I forgot that part. Yeah, my show is in Spanish and targets the Spanish speaker community, for Centers for Spiritual Living, and in general, for the public in general. Although I gotta say, I've been doing some of the practices, I've been doing bilingual, because more and more we have people that speak both languages. And I often do, and myself, I, I speak Spanglish. So sometimes, I mix everything. And so I've been doing some of, depending on the practice that I'm doing, um, I'll do it in English or I'll do it in Spanish. And let me explain a little bit of what I do. Uh, the show is called Spirituality, the Daily Practice, Espiritualidad, la práctica diaria. And I do different spiritual practices. Sometimes I do a 40-day practice. So let's say abundance. So we do 40 days. I sometimes do another. I did a really, really nice practice that people really liked. That was um, 20 days um, to the, to bring down anxiety, and that was really well attended. People really like that one.
Mm.
And currently, I'm doing one that is really fun. It's been one of my favorite practices. I put it together myself, so that's why. And it's called Laughter, the Best Medicine.
Nice.
And what I do normally in these practices, um, like I said, sometimes they're 40 days, sometimes they're 21 days, sometimes they're 10 days. The current one is 40 days of laughter. And it has three components. Um, the first part of the practice, and my show is 15 minutes only. So the first 5 minutes, we laugh. We laugh, 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 laugh. Then we go into a 5 minutes meditation, and then we do an affirmation. So the idea of this practice is to help us to um, lower the levels of anxiety that we all experience through our days. About everything, we all live a very busy lives. We have many responsibilities, and our days get, you know, sometimes uh, very busy. And the idea of this practice is to kind of bring down that anxiety and elevate our energy,
Mm.
um, bring us into moments of, just a laughter, a moment of where we can connect with our breathing, our mind, and allow us to kind of let our thoughts kind of go for a moment. and then we do an affirmation. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm having the best time ever.
Well, you know, one thing you said that sparked my curiosity is that my daughter lives in Seattle, and next time I'm in Seattle, I'll have to make sure that we connect.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
She'll,
Yes.
she'll be out of the country. She'll be traveling somewhere.
Well, you know, and you know, I love the idea of the time for this practice, 15 minutes, because oftentimes, uh, if it's longer than 15 minutes, sometimes people get a little antsy, right? But you can always say, hey, you can give 15 minutes for something that's going to enrich your life, that's going to give you a positive outlook, and that's going to, in this case, give you some medicine as you laugh. So I love that idea. And it seems to be that the trend of videos and things online is 15 minutes is just about the limit of anybody watching before they to get the whole content, right? Unless it's really, really engaging and you hit a button. So I love that, and I'll have to start looking at that because that's a key component is you want people to watch it and get engaged, and that sounds like a perfect combination right there.
Yes. Yes. I think it's a in a way we or attention span is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and so is sometimes we have fantastic shows, but people that kind of just like go like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I also want to have some kind of tool that grabs the finger. They're like, stay
No,
here.
no clicking, no clicking, no clicking for you. Well, and I want to join in on this part because I think the trend is away from long form video, but only as a means of introduction.
Mm.
Short, you can't get the depth of the conversation that we're having today in a 1 minute, 2 minute,
Right.
3 minute short video. So, and that is a vital component in today's world because yes, the attention span is getting shorter. People are tuning out more quickly if you don't catch them, and so we have to use that short form to capture their attention, to capture their imagination, to capture a sense of, oh, there's something here for me.
Right.
And that will lead into a willingness to watch more long form video, as we are embroiled in a 1 hour long form video interview right here today, folks. So
Yes.
for those that are watching this at another time, no clicking. No clicking around. Stick with us. We got a lot to talk about. And Emma, I think you brought a clip with you from your program. Is that correct? We're gonna
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay.
So this is a. Do you want to play it now?
Well, set us up. What are we going to hear? What are we going to see here?
Okay. So we're going to do. I'm going to start by showing you. This is how my show starts. This is the advertisement, and like I said, my show starts at 8 in the morning. Is that busy time, when people are getting ready to go places, or maybe they already arrived to their jobs, their offices, and so I'm. What I try to do is do something that kind of attracts them and kind of like traps them, and they want to stay. And in this, with this exercise that we're going to be doing, is one of those exercises that can help you. Like sometimes you're getting to the office, you're not in the best mood, right? or you're getting to the bus and you're like, "Ugh." Or maybe it's 8 o'clock and you're like, oh my God, I gotta get up. And so if I tell you start laughing, you'll probably be like, no.
Yeah.
So this exercise that we're going to be seeing is for those of you who have a hard time. So, okay.
All right, let's bring it up here. And remember, folks, even if you don't speak Spanish, you're going to be able to feel the vibration. So get ready for it.
Tienes un hilo y que lo vas a poner, es un hilo imaginario, ¿ok? Lo vas a poner aquí en tu mejilla, lo vas a atravesar y va a estar en el otro lado de la mejilla, ¿ok? Así que es un hilo imaginario que cuando lo jalas, nos ayuda a sonreír. Porque a veces no queremos sonreír. Así que entonces lo jalamos y sonreímos. Así que te invito a tomar una respiración profunda y cuando inhalemos, vamos a levantar un poquito los brazos y al exhalar vamos a hacer un sonido y vamos a jalar el hilo y regresamos. ¿Ok? ¿Estás listo? Ahí vamos. Inhalamos. Exhalamos. Regresamos. Inhalamos. Exhalamos. Una vez más. Inhalamos. Detenemos un poquito el aire y ahora exhalamos haciendo ruido y jalando el hilo. Qué rico, ¿verdad? Recuerden que esta imagen, levantar los brazos, esta imagen que todos conocemos en todo el mundo como una imagen de victoria,
We can stop
también
now.
nos ayuda.
There we go. Beautiful.
I think that even if you don't speak Spanish, you understood the game, and it's basically helping us to laugh and imagine that you have a dental, and just pull yourself. And it's about connecting once again, it's kind of a breathing. We always ask people, let's breathe in and breathe out. Yeah. And this time just adding a little laughter as well.
Yeah. And I think that's great, right? Because as you said, everybody's breathing, right? If you're not breathing, then that's a whole nother thing. But to add some activities and some emotion to that breathing, I found myself breathing a little deeper and exhaling a little longer because I'm engaged other than just sitting here breathing. I'm like expanding and contracting and it's a great metaphor for the universe because that's what the universe does. It breathes, it expands and contracts. That's what happens when we get high tide and low tide. That's what happens when we get full moon and no moon, right? It's right. This breathing, it's this flexing of allowing ourselves to be open and allowing ourselves to retreat and then open again. And so I love that because it's one of the basic principles of our teaching.
Yes. And it's easy. I recommend people to, if you're having a day that is difficult. So this is something you can, like if you're in the office and you're having a hard time because your boss is giving you a hard time, just go to the bathroom, close the door, and do some breathing.
My boss gives me a hard time every day.
Well, I'm not going to ask you who your boss is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show you another exercise you can do when your boss is giving you a hard time. But I'm gonna, instead of showing it to you on the video, I'm gonna ask you to do it with me. How about that?
All right. Sounds great.
Okay. So we're gonna breathe. It's the same principle. We're gonna be breathing. So we're gonna when we inhale, we're gonna move our hands up, right? Okay, do it with me. Okay. And when we so we're gonna inhale, hold the air for a second, and when we exhale, we're gonna lower ourselves a little bit. And when we let the air out, we're gonna say ha ha ha. Ready? Okay.
Yes.
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, so breathe in, get your hands up, hold the air for a second, and then we're gonna exhale, lower, and go ha ha ha.
Ah,
Ah.
We're gonna do it one more time. Inhale, exhale, ha ha ha.
Ah. Ah. Ah.
I could do that to
I
my
love
boss.
that because that's another laughing one, right? That's another laughing one, and you get to laugh in, and you really expand. And for me, just the orchestrated laugh of ha 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 made me smile even more.
Yeah, because once that you start doing the ha 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 ha, it just like brings the laughter. And you can do it, like you can practice. I mean, that's something that we can do at home for 5 minutes. And you do breathing. You start with ha ha ha, and then you do he he he, and then he ho 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 ho.
Oh,
And let's do together the last one. Come on, let's do just one time. All right, the who.
oh.
Oh, and I, now you've brought in a whole nother element of sound therapy, right? Because each one of those ha and he and ho, they have a different resonation of sound in the body. So now we're doing sound healing as well, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert. Were you gonna say something?
What I love about this is there's the playfulness of it, there's the practice of it, and it's something you can do anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
You don't have to, okay, I'm going to sit down and do my spiritual practice now. You don't have to twist yourself into a pretzel and go into a meditation for a half an hour. You, in the midst of the moment, now, if you're in a Zoom meeting, you might want to turn off your cam for a minute, but otherwise you can, if you're just working, you can just, okay, interrupt the pattern of the limited thinking, interrupt the pattern of the conditioned thinking that so many of us have been brought up with, and move into a lighter hearted sense of a vibrational and an energetic that says, you know what, it's all okay. In the grand scheme, this is tiny stuff that I'm going through. It's all okay. And we're gonna keep on keeping on, as it were. I love it, Emma. Thank you.
Thank you. And the other thing is that in these exercises, we're engaging our body, our mind, and so it's really bringing together everything that we always tell people, like do this, do that, and doing it in a way that is fun, brings a sense of happiness, and seriously brings your anxiety down for the rest of the day. So
yes. Hey, you said the word engagement, and that reminds me, we need to engage with some of our sponsors and our donors and let everybody out there in the viewer land know some of the folks that are helping us to make this all happen for you. We're going to do just that for just a moment or two, but please don't go away. We got a whole lot more coming with Emma Moreno on New Thought Today right after these messages. We'll be right back.
The New Thought Men's community proudly presents New Thought Men's Summit, Foundations, an online conference, September 22nd through 27th. Register today at www.newthoughtmens.community, featuring 22 New Thought speakers, ministers, and visionaries, sharing their wisdom of modern spiritual masculinity. New Thought Men's community, empowering wholeness, centered in spiritual living.
You're invited to join us for the Convention of the Americas. Your light is my light. Come experience a bilingual international meeting of New Thought leaders on the beautiful shores of Lake Chapala, Jalisco, Mexico. With keynote speakers, Reverend Dr. Sonny Cantrell Smith, Reverend Jeffrey Ryan, and Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis. Join us August 6th through the 10th, Lake Chapala, Mexico. Learn more at conventionoftheamericas.com and register today. Your light is my light.
Yes, and welcome back to New Thought Today here on the New Thought Media Network. My co-host, Reverend Elzia, and I are pleased to welcome Emma Moreno, professional practitioner, program star here on the New Thought Media Network, and all-around world traveler, sharing the science of mind and spirit, the New Thought message across the planet. You are an inspiration, Emma. I'm so grateful that you're here. And we're going to get to spend some time. You know, folks, one of the things I love, one of the things I really, really love is when I actually get to spend time in the same physical space as somebody from the network. We all work together day in and day out, and we all have so many projects going on together, but often what is missing is that human connection, that chance to share a meal and have a hug and bump into each other walking across a piece of property. And that's what gets to happen coming up in just a couple of months now, actually, a little under 2 months now. We're going to be together in Lake Chapala, Mexico. Tell everybody what I'm talking about here, Emma.
Well, yes. Have you registered?
Yes, I have.
I have. So, Reverend Z, you should come too.
I'm gonna next year. I'm gonna make it. I got a pre-conference or something else, but next year rather, I'll be there.
Well, okay, but in the meantime, I'm gonna tell you what is gonna happen this year, and so kind of get you interested. So, first of all, Chapala, Mexico. Beautiful place in Jalisco. And this is I believe, the 10th anniversary of the Convention of the Americas.
Yes.
So this convention brings together leaders from not just the United States, but from as far as Argentina, Spain, all the Spanish-speaking world. Leaders come. And a lot of us thought that we speak Spanish and live in the United States. This is an opportunity to be there, to be together, to learn from each other. And we have amazing speakers. This year, I'm really excited about Reverend Kathy Ann Lewis from Seattle, Washington, who is going to be doing a one full day of a workshop. And is for the workshop is for practitioners, and it's called Practitioner 3. But actually, if you're a minister, you can also come. It's actually for everybody, I think. And Reverend Kathy Ann Lewis is amazing. I mean, she's my reverend. I work with her all the time, but it's amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing teacher. And she did, at the beginning of the year, she did this class, Practitioner 3, with the Spanish speakers. And we had an amazing 6 weeks with her, where she was speaking English and we had an interpreter. And the classroom was full. People loved the practice. And this time we're going to have the opportunity to have that same experience, but for a full day, with learning new tools, new ways to practice our spirituality. And so then I'm very excited about that workshop that is going to be on Monday, August 5th. It's a full day. And the conference actually starts on the 6th. So for people who want to come to this class with Reverend Kathy Ann Lewis, they have to register for that special day that is on a Monday.
Right.
And then the conference goes from the 6th to the 10th. And there's amazing speakers. You're looking at one of them. I'm gonna be doing one of the workshops. We're gonna be doing exercises about laughter, kind of what we did, but more of a workshop.
Yeah.
There's also gonna be other speakers that are just like Jeffrey, Reverend Jeffrey, who's amazing. And in addition to that, it's just being in Chapala is fantastic. It's a way to do network. And I gotta tell you, that's how I learned about New Thought Media Network. That's how I first got engaged with New Thought Media Network, because of Chapala.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity to meet other people, to do network, to be invited, to participate in other conferences, and learn a lot. We not often have the opportunity to be in person with other leaders, and this is a great chance. And then you get to eat Mexican food.
And the music
Tacos.
and folks, I want you to know I was able to attend last year, and we had such an amazing time that New Thought Media Network has got a whole team of people that is going to be there. Obviously, Emmy, you're going to be there. Myself, I'll be there. My beloved Lara will be there with us. Robin and Gil from Rock and the Love will be there. And Bunny Gonzalez from Your Doula for Grief will be there. And there's probably even a couple more people that are going to be there that haven't told me they're going to be there. But if you'd like to come and be a part of something really special, really unique, we can't encourage you enough. Check out Convention of the Americas. It's going to, I think we had a great time last year. And I got to say, I don't think I'm giving up any secrets, but getting a chance to see Kathy Ann Lewis sing karaoke, I mean, I'm not sure how often that happens in the world, but I know it was the first time I've ever seen it happen. Not guaranteed you will see a repeat this year, but it's a beautiful occasion, and on Lake Chapala, and there's room for excursions. It's not like you're stuck in a hotel conference ballroom for 4 or 5 days. The food is out on the patio. We share meals together. We really share a sense of community. I did last year. We share a sense of community at this event, and you've been attending for a number of years now, right?
Only maybe 4. I think this is going to be my number 4.
Okay.
Yeah. And don't another night that is one of my favorites is they usually have one night where they bring mariachis. So they serve a fabulous dinner, and then there's music, and it's just a really nice moment to share with others, and learn about the culture, different cultures. For those who live outside of Mexico, this is a way to see the music, to taste the delicious food of Mexico, and just kind of like be in that space. So
Exactly.
I hope that you have the opportunity and join us this year.
I will be there.
Well, go ahead, bro. I was going to say I'm looking forward to next year so I can get there. Just to feel that energy that's being displayed here right now.
Amen. Yes. All right, folks. You heard it here first. Rev Z is going to come to Mexico with us in 2025.
Yes.
So we're going to write that down. We're going to write that into the agreement right now. That if you want to meet Rev Z face to face, number one, you can come to Denver anytime. But otherwise, we'll just plan to meet. I love it. So,
one thing I just have a question. I know you were here, Emma, but how is the Science of Mind teachings expanding down in Latin America and South America and that whole region? How is that spreading?
Well, I think it was at the beginning of COVID, so 2020, that it was an opportunity. Well, of course, it was a crisis, right? We were all in crisis. But there were some good things that happened out of that crisis. And one of those where the people start using more tools like Zoom or the network here, New Thought Media Network, to start getting together and starting to go and see programs that were online. And that created an opportunity for the Spanish speakers to expand and get to, because basically the time was gone. All the barriers that we had in the past were gone. There was no time, no space. We were together in one room speaking Spanish. And so for me, it was the first time that I was able to be with Spanish speakers. I have lived in the United States for more than 40 years, most of my life. And I didn't know that many Spanish speakers, practitioners or ministers. And that was kind of like when the door opened for me to start getting to know ministers, practitioners that have been working for a long time in Argentina, in Peru, in Mexico, and we were finally getting connected. At the same time, I believe it was in 2022 that there was a large group of, for the first time, they had a graduation of more than 10 ministers, directores espirituales, because they're not called minister, but they're called director espiritual in Spanish. And they had more of, I believe there were like 12 ministers that graduated, and more practitioners are starting to take classes, become practitioners, and finding places. And most of the centers for spiritual living in Spanish, most of them, all the work that they do is online. And that is very important to know for us, because that's how we engage with the Spanish speakers, is online. It's through platforms like this one, where we can find them, we can offer programs to engage with the Latino community, and then the conference, the Convention of the Americas. So those are the two big elements where we can find Spanish speakers.
Nice.
And it's growing very rapidly.
One of the things that I've said from the very beginning of New Thought Media Network is that we want to support the uprising of the New Thought philosophy wherever it happens and however it happens. And I was actually in a conversation this morning with someone, and they said, well, I mean, Mexico, Latin America, that is a stronghold of Christianity. And how do you see that works? And part of what what I was sharing was, I think that New Thought, there's always one. So wherever New Thought shows up, there's always one person that grabs on and says, I am not letting go of this. I am going to make it my life's mission to share this with as many people as I can and in many places. And for Spanish language, especially in the Americas, we have to look at Reverend Rebecca Pena for that. And it feels like she got a hold of this philosophy and said, I am going to teach this and share this. And where there is one, there is two. And where there is two, there is four. And over some time now, at least 10 years, because this is the 10th anniversary, Reverend Rebecca really championed this conference as a way to do just what you're saying, get people together that wouldn't normally have the opportunity to be in the same physical location. And we get to support and learn more about how we can support this uprising in the Spanish language communities. Because once you find New Thought, the truth is hard to deny. And one gets to, and everybody that finds it wants to share it. So it seems very natural to me that we would be seeing such a let's call it a population explosion in the number of people within Spanish language countries that are open to a new way of spirituality, a new idea in spirituality.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. And we're seeing the response of people as they're watching our shows. I mentioned, sorry, that was my cat. Likes to scare me. I mentioned when I did the introduction, I talk about my show, my morning show, but I have two other shows. And so when I say I also want to mention other practitioners that work with me, like Perla Murillo, that has a fantastic show on Saturdays, and I help produce that show. And we have Ruby Romero, who is also part of another show. So we're putting together all these really interesting shows that are well attended. And so we have the morning show, and then at night, right now is on a vacation, but it starts in July 1st. We're doing a meditation. Same thing, 15 minutes, a meditation in Spanish. And that also is, people love that show. Yeah. It's meditation. And then on Tuesdays, like today, at 4, we have another show with Perla Murillo and Ruby Romero, and they are fantastic hosts. So, the programming in Spanish is expanding as a response of what we see people wanting to hear. And, we're always trying to get some kind of a pulling to see what people want to hear, what's the interest in the community, and so kind of tailor that to create a show.
Yeah, beautiful. And we got to go to a break, folks. But I want to make sure we throw this in there. You were instrumental in getting the Spanish language prayer program up and running. Now I know that's not quite your program or your team, and we've got some other people that are leading that now. But that's one of our fastest growing programs and our fastest growing teams. They got more people than they know what to do with on
Yes.
on the Spanish language prayer program, and that happens at 9:30 Mountain Time, 8:30 Pacific.
I'm part of the team too, so
Yeah, that's true. You are part of the team. You just don't have to lead that one.
yeah.
So, folks, we're going to take a quick break, say hello to a couple more sponsors, and say thank you to our organizational sponsors and individual donors. Though, please don't go away. We've got more coming up with Emma Moreno here on New Thought Today, part of the New Thought Media Network. We'll be back right after these messages. Stay tuned. Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring. Yes. Thank you to all of our organizational sponsors and individual donors. It's thanks to viewers and listeners like you that help us share this New Thought message out into the planet all over the world. And we love doing it. We love that you're supportive of our mission here. Thank you again. All right, back into New Thought today. Emma, one of the biggest questions we ask everybody, and we might already have run out of time to really answer this, but give us your best shot at it. What do you see as the future for the New Thought movement, and in this case specifically, let's say in the world of Spanish language programming?
Well, I think it's very exciting. I honestly see as a very exciting future because, and I think you mentioned this before, we have a group of people who are being part of one of the shows that we have in the morning, and it's the prayer in Spanish. It's Viviendo en Oración. And that show started a year ago. I think it's a year and 1 month ago. And it has grown and continues expanding. More people are wanting to be part of it. So it's the global team that are learning to produce the show, to host the show, and to do the prayers. And as you said, Robert, we have so many people now that we don't. It's like we in the team. I believe that we are 15 people now, and so not everybody shows every day, and not everybody shows every week, but everybody wants to be part of it, and not just by coming and be part of the show, but also listening and sharing it. And so it's a great show. I personally love being part of that team that is led by Mirna from CSL Merida. And so it's growing. We are teaching them to produce programs and encourage them to create new shows. And so right now we're working on creating podcasts, very short, 7 minutes podcasts. We are in the beginning of it. It's called Voces del Alma. I'm part of the group. And so doing small shows, 7 minutes, like I said. And there's, again, so much interest in being part of it. Myself, I'm going to be telling stories. That's one of my best. I love telling stories. So that's going to be my show is going to be about storytelling.
Storytelling.
And so what I see is the future is that we're going to have 24 hours of programs, not just in Spanish, but English and Spanish. And that people have the opportunity to go in at any time and, tune in and find these amazing shows where they can learn so much. And that's kind of what I see happening, and I'm excited to be part of it. And I'm very grateful the New Thought Media Network and all the sponsors are creating this platform for all of us. So thank you, sponsors.
There we go. Always time to say thank you to our sponsors one more time. Thank you. And I love your vision, 24-hour program. I have to say it scares me a little. And I love your vision of 24/7 programming here on the network. So thank you for that. Good. Oh, this has been so much fun today.
And actually, if if I can take an opportunity now, from people who are watching right now, if you're interested in being volunteer with us in the Spanish-speaking world, this might be your opportunity to learn Spanish. So, join us.
That's a big challenge right there.
We can laugh in English and Spanish. See,
I keep threatening that I'm going to learn. I keep threatening that I'm going to learn Spanish, but I don't know who I'm threatening. I think myself.
Yeah.
This will be the challenge. Learn Spanish. Just sometimes listening to a prayer. Maybe start by tuning in in the morning, the prayer, Viviendo en Oración.
Yeah.
And just listen to the prayer in Spanish. And just start by listening, because it's the things that we know, in our language. And when you hear it in the different languages, just the rhythm, the words, you will get inspired. And little by little, next thing you know, you'll be speaking Spanish and being part of my show.
Yes.
There we go. All right. Well, folks, we are rapidly running out of time here. So before we leave, I want to make sure we give everybody a chance to kind of wrap up their thoughts. And we do this every week. It's time for final thoughts. Rev Z, kick us off.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for joining us, Emma, because like I've taken lots of Spanish and I speak un poquito Spanish. And so just the idea of being able to travel and come to the conference next year and be surrounded by the language, hopefully it inspired me not only spiritually, but intellectually to speak another language and to be able to communicate and get, like you said, get the rhythm of another country and another way of living. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you for what you're doing. And I'm so sorry I'm going to miss the conference this year. Sounds like it's going to be a big one.
Well, next year.
Yes.
Next year for sure. All right. Emma, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Well, very, very grateful to be here, and the invitation to come to Chapala with us August 5th with a workshop with Reverend Kathy Ann Lewis to the 10th, August 10th. You're going to have so much fun, and you're going to learn a lot. And also, if this year you cannot attend, watch one of our shows. Every morning, we have Spanish-speaking shows. So join us. And thank you so much for the invitation today.
Yes, so grateful you could be here. I'm glad we've had a chance to chat with you and introduce the work that you're doing into the world, into our larger ecosystem as well. One thing I want to say before we go, and that is, this is my final thought: don't let language be a barrier. Everything at this conference is translated in both directions. So whether you're English speaking or Spanish speaking, we have some great translators at this event that make sure, and you get a little earpiece, and it works like a charm. I loved it last year. It's another way to help learn Spanish if you're not a Spanish speaker, is to have that translation in real time. It works well. So join us for that. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for being with us, folks. Before we go, we're going to show you that reminder of the information you need to know to join us at the Convention in the Americas this coming August. Until next time, we wish you peace and richest blessings. Bye now.
You're invited to join us for the Convention of the Americas. Your light is my light. Come experience a bilingual international meeting of New Thought leaders on the beautiful shores of Lake Chapala, Jalisco, Mexico. With keynote speakers, Reverend Dr. Sonny Cantrell Smith, Reverend Jeffrey Ryan, and Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis. Join us August 6th through the 10th, Lake Chapala, Mexico. Learn more at conventionoftheamericas.com and register today. Your light is my light.